Hi everyone, Sue's Journal Adventures. I was just stunned then because I'm like, I'm going to show them something and I don't know where it is. It's here, I found it. Right, so on my last video, which was making these belly bands with tags you can write in. That was my last video, so if you look at that, I mentioned on there some papers that I changed the look of. Loads of people have done this. Some people have done it very recently. I think Pam's just done it really recently. I have done videos on changing ugly papers before. I had some maps, and I'm not a great big fan of maps, so I changed the look of them using inks and stencils. There's a myriad of ways you can change the look of paper. If you've got papers you're not that keen on, I always used to tend to give papers away in like a rack. If I thought, oh, it's not my scene, I won't use that. I've got a box under my desk, I chuck stuff I won't use in there, and then when it's full, I send it off to someone. So basically, I have preferences in my paper style, and things that I'm not mega keen on, but like I say, you can change them in so many ways. You can sand them off, especially with glossy magazines. You can sand them, you can ink over them, you can stencil them, you can emboss them, you can stamp on them, you can colour with inks, you can colour with watercolour paints. So many different ways you can do things. But whoopsie, I'm just going to show you some that I did yesterday. Not yesterday, day before. So this piece of paper here, which I actually now find quite nice. I quite like this paper. This paper, you would not believe, was white with pink and blue Volkswagen camper vans on it. Camper vans, I'm really not a fan of camper vans. Well, I am. I'd love to go in a camper van. But anyway, on my Victorian-y, vintage style journals, no. So I thought, well, I'm not going to use that. So I chucked it in my giveaway box. But then I thought, hang on a minute. I can change that. Can you see a camper van anywhere? If you look very closely, you might slightly see one there. Down here, you might see the wheels. So it were like a blue one and a pink one and a blue one. You could see the front end of two here. You can still see the little tiny VW sign there, which that one I covered with a butterfly. But what I try to do is put muted colours into the background and then lighter stenciling over the top of that, then darker stenciling to kind of bring things forward. So the lighter stenciling would be the swirls, the darker stenciling is the flowers, so they pop a bit more. This writing I did fairly pale, this one I did a bit darker. So you can bring things to the foreground, and then if you stamp in black ink, they just kind of sit on top. So it's kind of like 3D layering, if you like. The next one I did was this, which was quite a nice piece of paper in itself. It was just white background. So again, I used muted colours. The vines I stamped very pale, and the writing I brought a bit more forward. This one was very pretty in the corners, but then it was just white across the middle. So to make it look more vintage, so I will actually use it, because I probably wouldn't have used it with just that big white patch in the middle. Again, I've done the muted writing and then stamped butterflies. So that's them. This one, you can still see the Harlequin print in the background. I'm not really fussed for that. It was quite pink and cream Harlequin. Probably wouldn't use it. I look at them sometimes and I think, oh yeah, you would. If you just tear a bit off and ink edges, you can use it in like a background, so I don't know, a little collage. But I never do. That is the fact. So I changed them. With this one, I don't know if you can see that in the light. It is kind of pearly, because what I did with this one, I've got these Brilliance ink pads, pearlescent lavender. So I used that in some areas, And then I also used this Spectrum Noir metallic pigment in rose gold ink pads. That is the, I don't know if you can see it on camera, this bit here. That's the rose gold, the coppery kind of looking bits. It's a bit difficult. I think you can see it. And then I just stamped over the top again. This one, I love this one. I love this one. And this was just a plain piece of lilac paper with teeny tiny little triangles on it. So it started again, just covering over the background. You can see I go lighter stenciling in the back, bring the dark up into the foreground. And then what I've also done with this, which I hope you can see, is I took my little gold paints from AliExpress, I painted it with a water brush onto my rubber stamp, and then I just stamped gold here and there. Hope you can see that, because that is so, I think that's my favourite one, that. It's so pretty. But all the rest is stenciling. The only bit stamped is the gold, which, can you see it? Yes, you can see it. So they're the pretty papers. This one, I actually love this pattern, but it's very white. Doesn't look vintage and aged to me. This is kind of like a graph paper, which we do use graph paper, but I'm just not sure I'd use that colour. These, I definitely wouldn't use anything like these. Maybe this one, I was thinking I could cut that out and I could use it as a bit of a, I'm just grabbing whatever's on my desk here. I could use it as a bit of a kind of lace swatch thing. Well, I'd have to put different colours so it shows up. But I think you get the gist. So I could put little different coloured laces on there and have it as like a little lace swatch with that one. I don't mind the plain kind of polka dotty ones, but the rest of it, I really can't see that going in my journal, you know. So I'm going to change these and I'm going to start, that's very bright, isn't it? It's dulling them down sometimes. I'm going to start with this one. I don't know whether to cut that off and do a little swatch with it because it's kind of cute. I like that one. Anyway, no. Shall we change this one? We'll just crack on soon. Right. So I'm going to get some of my trusty paddle brushes. I don't know what they're called actually, but they're like, I think on, was it Temu? I got 5 for like £2 or something. Anyway. Right. So inks. Now then. I kind of need to think about where I'm going with this. And my stamps, not my stamps, my stencils, did I put them in here? I didn't think I'd put them away because I haven't actually washed them. Oh my days, that's teetering on the edge. I can't put that on there. I've got 2 boxes over half of my bin. And then there's a box on top of that and a box on top of that. And I'm like, I didn't put what else on there because it's all going to go crash. Right, so I'm going to get out some of my favourite stencils and some little kind of small ones. And things to just layer up. I've got tons of stencils. I don't want to grab them all out, but I did quite like this wordy one. And they might come out different because there's already ink on here from yesterday because Lazy Susan did not clean them. So I'm going to start with the background. So let's just get one of these pieces of paper and let's start with Vintage Photo. I'm going to go, well, that's brown. Yeah, but I need to mute down the other pinky reddy bits. Oh gosh. Okay, black, I'm going to need brown, I'm going to need tea dye. Maybe not. Yellows, maybe not. Golds, maybe. Lilacs, possible. Blues and pinks, well, just keep them all out. So just keep them all out, okay? Right, so I'm going to go in. Now, when you first start doing this, you might think, oh my goodness, what a mess. And it does, honestly, look a hideous mess in the beginning. When I first started doing the one that had camper vans on it, I was like, Oh no, what have I done? But yeah, it will look hideous at first, but don't worry about that. And everything is just trial and error. It's just playing, using up stuff. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's only a piece of card. You know, it's not a big, massive deal. I think sometimes beginners worry if they do something wrong, it's like a big disaster. And no, it's not. It's just a piece of paper, love. Throw it in the bin. Or if you don't like it, save some stuff up in a little box. And then when you've got a few spare pennies, you know, well, I can do that because I'm on Facebook groups. If you're on any crafting Facebook groups where you have to be a member and they share addresses, you can just send a random anonymous rack to somebody, a random act of kindness, and send them your papers that you don't like because they just might like them. So it's a nice thing to do. I love it when I get a rack. I've had several in my time of junk journaling that have blown my mind and been so full of fantastic stuff. And some of them I didn't even know who it was from, so I couldn't even say thank you, which is a bit gutting because it's like somebody sent me a box. I got a box from Australia, a big box, an Amazon box, and that lady had put loads in it, but she did put a name on it. But there was someone else that sent me a box. Someone sent me a box and it was full of goodies, but they didn't even put a name in it. They just put "to my fellow crafter," and I was like, what? I can't even say thank you on one of the groups. I didn't even know which group it was from. So, but it's lovely. It's lovely when you get a rack through with the door. You get all excited and like, oh, I've got some happy mail. It is lovely. We like getting little treasures from other people because sometimes people have things that we haven't got, and it's nice to kind of learn what other people have got in their stash. Now then, blues, lovely. This is really bright, so you're gonna go, oh, what are you doing? Yep, it looks hideous. I know, but just keep going. Trust me, it'll be all right on the night. There used to be a programme called that on television years ago. It'll be all right on the night. It were all the bloopers, TV and film bloopers. Good little show with that. You see, they don't make shows like they used to, do they? We used to have, when I was younger, when I was a kid, we used to have some really fun shows. Now they're just hideous, some of them. So it's already changing, as you can see. I'd like to go a bit more on this white because kind of, I don't really want the border, but I could have cut it off, but well, just keep it as it is because we'll see where we go with this, because we just don't know where it is going to lead us. So when you've got big strong colours like these pinks, I tend to kind of want to work a bit more on covering them up and them not being quite as visible. So I'm going to get some other colours. Can't put pink on because it is pink. How about lilac? We'll have some of this pearlescent lilac on here. So I suppose in a way you're just exchanging one colour for another, but it's nice. And these are pearlescent, so you get a bit of shimmer from these. If you haven't got these, just use what you've got. Doesn't matter what inks you use. It's just changing the paper, really. So then I kind of, like I said, I try to mute the background a little bit and then layer up with stencil, darker stencil, and then maybe stamp on the top to really bring out what you, I don't know, like your main, well, it's not your main focal point, but I think you know what I mean. Put your thing back on too. And I want the greens. Is that the greens? Yeah. This is more of like a jade green. This didn't work very well the other day. I ended up having to just rub it on the paper. And it's actually new, or quite new. It's quite dark. Not that you'd know today. Yeah, I don't know if this is dried up a bit. Let me, where's my water spray? Let me spray a bit of water on you useless pad, you. Oops, I haven't put the lid on that. I don't know where the lid is. There it is. Right, so yeah. I don't know why that looks like it's going brown. That is so bizarre. Anyway, I don't care. I think you're going to get made redundant, mate. You are absolutely crud. But you can just do stuff like that. And then you get other prints in the background and other, like, shapes. So I'm all up for doing that. You weren't expecting that, were you? Sue just picks it up and starts going crazy. That's the fun. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just there. It is what it is. Now then, let's go with weathered wood. So I need my, where are you? I think I'll go over here. I'm going to go with this background, which is quite a kind of a busy one, but, you know. I haven't muted the colours in the background quite as much as I'd want to, but I'm kind of thinking what other colours I can use as well. It's a bit, you know, because you need things to put in the foreground. So this, I'm not going in majorly heavy with this one. It's just going to be barely there, kind of. It's there, but it's not fully there. So I'm just going to keep going round with that. Change hands. Yeah, I told you on the last video I'm learning to play guitar. I'm quite enjoying my little self with this app that I've got. It's hard. Oh my goodness. I think to play guitar, you have to be a flipping contortionist. Get your hand right round there. I'm like, the claw. But my wrist aches, my finger ends are still sore today after playing for 10 minutes last night. It's like, good grief. Pain, suffering, what's that all about? But I do love guitar music. I would absolutely love to be able to just pick up that guitar and play something, because I love guitar music. I used to listen to guitar music when I was going to sleep. So we've got that, which isn't much of anything really at the minute. So I'm going to go with, especially over here. Why didn't it come out over here? Let me just try a bit of this stencil here. Pick up a bit more ink. Whoopsie. You just keep going until you get it looking how you want it to look, really. I don't know that this one's going to work that great, if I'm honest, because there's too many bright colours in the background. But, having said that, the camper van were bright. I'm not liking this, guys. It's really not going as I expected. But keep going. Just keep going. You can always spritz as well. You can spritz with inks, or you can spritz. I've got some mica powders that I spritz with. Just get bits of that in there. Right, I'm now going to revert. I'm going to go to black soot. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to black soot, and what am I going to do with black soot? With black soot, I'm going to go... I can't believe I did those beautiful papers, and then the one that I come on camera to do is really not going very well. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Always when you're on camera. Whoopsie. Right, this black soot, to me, is not like black. It's just like a darker weathered wood. It's almost like a charcoal, this, rather than a black. But that's good. So I'm just going to go in a bit deeper with this one, if I can. I think some of my brushes are a bit dry as well. Could do with maybe a spritz of water on my brushes. So yeah, it isn't a new technique, it isn't anything super amazing, it's just playing about and working on your paper till you've made it something that you think, oh, actually, yeah, I would use that now. Whew, I kid you not, guys, it's getting warmer in here. The sun is out. Apparently we're going to have a mini heat wave this weekend. Kind of feels pretty hot right now. Not hot, but I'm starting to glow. Women glow, men sweat, you know. I'm kind of starting to glow a little bit. So we've got that. What's that going to look like? Oh, nice. I like that. Now I'm getting a bit more happy about this paper. So I'm going to try and do a bit of this in the corner, but pull it back a bit. Yeah, you see the black soap, it's supposed to be black, but to me that is not black. That's like a very dark charcoal grey. But it's working, and that's all that matters. So darken up some bits over here. Yeah, I was going to do 2 other paper techniques. I was going to do 3 changing paper techniques today, but then when I took a look at my desk, I just thought, you haven't got the room to do it, so I'll have to do the videos separately. They're all techniques that I've done before millions of times, but you know, sometimes we might just do things a little bit differently to someone else. So it's just seeing what we pull out of the bag, innit, really. People have done this before, but everybody's looks different sometimes. So now I still need my black ink, and what I'm going to do now, where's that black gone I was just using? Is that it? Oh, okay, I'm going to go in the black and I'm going to put some of these, but I don't want it like black, if you know what I mean. I'm just going to put these here and there. Darker, want darker, definitely want darker, like that. Yes, that's nice. So you can see now that's come into the foreground more than the other swirls. So I'm just going to turn that around. I'm going to put it back over this and just do this one a little bit darker. Oops, I'll move it, it's okay. And then I'm going to do one here. And keep turning your paper and just, yeah, moving things about and seeing where you might want something, or you think it needs something because it's a bit bare. Like, I really would like some more stuff down these edges, but I'll sort that in a minute. Just do this here with the black. And then I'm going to get, what should we have on here? I'm not liking this edge, but I can cut that off. I'll probably be cutting this off into pieces anyway, so it's not really going to matter that much. I didn't get any stamps out, did I? Like a silly woman. I've got these, but I'm not majorly impressed with these, I have to say. Yeah, they don't come out that fantastic. So I'm just going to go in with some black, half butterflies apparently. Oopsie. So like I say, you can do all sorts of different things. You can use sprays, you can use inks, you can use dyes. You could dye your paper before you start stenciling, coffee dye it, or use food colourings. Whatever you've got at your disposal, just use. Any stamps you've got, it doesn't need to be out amazing. If you haven't got very much, just literally use what you've got. Tea, coffee, we've all got tea and coffee, haven't we? You can always use them to dye the paper, and then just add a few colours in with either, if you haven't got any inks, you can use pencils, coloured pencils. I think coloured pencils would look very nice. Just lightly covered over, you know, just a light kind of sketch technique. That'd look nice. Just sticking some things in the corners a little bit. Where's my butterflies going? I'm feeling like I'm losing track of my butterflies now. Oh gosh, it's so warm. I'm boiling. I'm going out actually soon, so I need to get a bite to eat. We're taking my, well, I said if it was nice weather, we were going to take my mum and dad out today. My poor dad, it's really upset me the other day when I went. So one of the carers there, she does all the like games and organising things to keep them occupied, and she'd taken my dad out. I think she probably took a few, but she said, I took your dad out the other day and we went for a walk down by the canal. We had a walk in, he didn't walk obviously, but yeah, they went for a walk by the canal, and then she took him in the pub for lunch, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. Obviously my mum was not mentioned, so I'm guessing my mum didn't want to go. My mum used to always want to go out. She never wanted to be in the house, but now she's like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm not going anywhere. Bless her. So I think she just took my dad on his own, and he had such a lovely time. When he got back, she said he was really emotional, and all day Tuesday, he was really emotional, and every time he saw her, he kept saying, thank you for taking me out. Thank you so much for taking me out. But what upset me is he said, nobody takes me out. My family don't even take me out. And I'm like, oh, we really want to take them out, but it's so difficult because we all visit at different times to ensure that they get visitors at different times and different days. And really, Mum can walk, but I don't think she could walk very far. So you'd need a wheelchair for Mum and a wheelchair for Dad. So I can't push two people at once. That's why me and my daughter are going today to take them out. So that one's done, I think. I may put some gold stamping on that a bit later. You can still kind of fully see the background on this one, but it's not bad. I would now use that. I wouldn't have used it before. This, I'm probably not going to put loads of stenciling on it because it's already got a pattern that I'm not liking, the white. So first off, I'm going to go in with the colour that I always go in with, which is brown. So yeah, it made me quite sad because she said all day Tuesday it was very emotional. He cried. He kept getting a bit emotional and, you know, saying thank you for taking me out. My daughter, it was funny because my daughter went Tuesday evening and she said, oh, Grandad, we're really emotional tonight. And I went, where? And obviously she didn't know why, but then I told her, I said, it's because Lisa took him out on Monday. And I think he was just so glad to get out of there. Because all they do is get them up on a morning, sit them in the lounge, and they're sat in the lounge all day. So the only breaks from the lounge that they used to have was when they'd move them from the lounge to the dining room for the breakfast, dinner and tea. Because my dad's really pretty much got to use a steady every time they put him in a wheelchair, basically because they can't be bothered, they don't even move him for lunch. They eat lunch in the lounge now. They've got little tables and they eat the lunch in the lounge. So they basically never ever go out of the lounge unless it's to go get changed or something. So yeah, it's a bit sad really. So, and it's sad that he's mentioned my family never take me out, and we were like, oh, I feel really bad now. So yeah, we are going to take them out today. Right, did I keep the pinks out? Gosh, I'm melting. I think it might be a bit too hot for me today. Oh, it's very cloudy. And there is a breeze. If there's a breeze, that's all right. I can just about cope when there's a breeze. I think it's my fibromyalgia, but I can't regulate my temperature. I just get hotter and hotter and hotter till I'm having palpitations and nearly throwing up. And I have to just come home, and the only way I can cool down is to have cold showers. So when it is really hot, I don't really like going out, especially in my car, flipping heck. It is no aircon, and it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I keep saying every year I need to get that aircon fixed. Never do. 4 years down the line, I still haven't got the aircon fixed. Well, it's not so much fixed, it just needs regassing, I think. But, you know. And then it gets to nearly winter time and you think, oh, I can't be bothered now, I don't need it now. Why do we always procrastinate? Well, I procrastinate so much. I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Everything is I'll do it tomorrow. And you know what they say, tomorrow never comes. Right, we'll have a bit of blue. We'll have a bit of blue jeans now. This is a bit dark. Where's my blue? This is a bit darker, so I'm just going to tap this. So I don't want big massive blue bits in it. Just want a bit of colour here and there. Can you all see this okay? Because I have a tendency to go off camera lately. So I'll get some blues going on in here. And it's just swirling it about, no rhyme or reason. I'm not putting it in any particular areas. I'm just swirling, just trying to make sure everything's covered really, especially at the edges, just to get rid of that white. Now that on in itself, that looks absolutely fine to me. I would now use that because it's not just plain white. So at that stage, I would use it. But I'm going to step it up a level. Oh yes. So I'm going to go, you see, it's already got a pattern. So I don't want something with loads of pattern, do I? Not really. Not really. But I just might want, where's that cute little flower that I had? It's disappeared. It was just right here. But anyway, I'm going to get this and I'm going to go with whatever ink is on my black. And if you don't want your paper directional, then just remember to turn it round. So I'm just going to go, because if you keep doing it all the same way, then obviously you're going to end up with directional paper. So I'm just going to put some, actually I'll turn it, I'll put some writing down here. And I'm just going with what's on the brush because I want this to be background-ish. And then I'm going to turn it again and I'm going to put some here. It's all looking a bit square at the minute. I don't want it to look square. So I'll just do a patch there. And then I'll have a patch of this one going there. And a patch there. And then I'm going to go in with some, what would I like next? I think I'd like some of them little flowers that I had a minute ago. I can't find it. I only used it a second ago. But we all know what happens, don't we? We just lose stuff. We lose stuff all the time. Here it is. This one, I quite like this one. For a bit of oomph here and there, and because there's already black ink on the stencil, I'm not going to add any ink. I'm just going to put this here and there. I mean, it might be a bit boring to watch this because I tend to be using same colours, same stencils. Get some else out too. There we go. So because there's already ink on there, I can just, you know, use what's on the stencil. It's going off a bit now, so I could probably just do with a dab. Really needed the black soot, but whoopsie, just moved it slightly. There we go. Now I'm going to come in from this corner. Can you see? Oh, I've gone, I thought I'd gone off the thing then. Give us a dab. Ooh, keep moving it. And then just a bit from this corner. A dab. Oh, that were a stroke. Be careful. Don't want it too dark. Right, so I've got that. That is really pretty. I like that piece of paper. Yes, I do. I like it. So I liked it before. I just didn't like the white. So just random bits, turning your paper around, using a lot of ink, not much ink. And I'm now going to get a different flower, if I can. Maybe not one of them. Let me put these pieces that I've done away because I'm going to get lost. Oh, gosh. There's silly little bits of paper all over. Is there really? On a crafter's desk? Are you kidding me, Sue? Right, I want a flower, but I want something... something poof. Maybe this one. Now, what am I going to poof it with? I would love to poof it with gold. Okay, maybe I just might try. I don't even know if it's going to work. I have no idea because this ink pad, it sometimes just looks like brown and not gold. And I'm going to use the actual ink pad because transferring it onto a dauber and then onto here is possibly not going to pick it up like I want it to. But I would really love some gold pop out of this. Don't think I'm going to get it, but let's have a look. No, it just looks brown. Yes. No, it does not look gold. But anyway, I'm going to keep going with that because I kind of like it. So what I'm going to do then, because this isn't showing as like a gold, it's coming out looking more like a brown. I'm just going to do certain ones of these here and there. And you could even do these with pencil. You know, if you sat there thinking I don't have any inks, you can even stencil with pencil. Stencil with pencil. I'm a poet and I know it. Yeah, you can stencil with pencil. Stop saying it now so it's not even funny. Right, there we go. Maybe one there. And maybe a bit of one here. And I think that's kind of, yeah, that's fine. Now, that very same flower, I really want to go in with gold, like supercharged gold. Where's my brush? I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm just going to try it with something, I don't know, smallish to start with. Where's the other stencils? Starts? Oh, okay. If it works, then I know. Then I know, you know. So I'm putting quite a lot of different things on here, considering it had a background pattern. But that is the fun and the joy of stenciling and paper crafting and playing. I just love doing projects like this. It is just pure playing and it's fun and it's relaxing, and I've probably been here for an hour already because I just, yeah, like playing. I enjoy messing about with these bits. Right, we're not getting the gold look I'm wanting, so I am going to get, oh, that does look a bit metallic-y, slightly, mainly on the edges. I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't really look that metallic-y, but I love that paper. So now I'm going to get, where's that one I just had? This big beauty. And I'm going to try my damnedest. Oh, how do I do this? I think finger. Well, in that case, I need one that's got a bit more gold in it because I can't even get my finger in that one anymore. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Kind of need some water. Need some water, mate. You know, give it a spritz. And that's got a long nail, so I don't think I'm going to get in it with that. I know that finger is sore. That's sore from guitar strumming, you know. I'm going to try it with paint. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just going to try. This is an experiment, okay? If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm going to cry. Not really. It's only a piece of paper. I really don't care that much. Oh, gosh, they dry too quick, though. I think it might go underneath the stencil. That's the only problemo. Because I love this gold. Okay, has it worked? Not that great. But I can sort of see that it's gold. It's come out a bit shabby, but hey, we can have a shabby flower here and there. Where is the flower? I'm just going to do another one over here because I'm not really liking how that's come out. So I'm going to try yet another technique. Yes, I am. So I'm just going to get this on here. So we've got at least two goldy kind of flowers. It's not, maybe it might be better with a brush, to be fair, but not getting enough of that gorgeous pigment, but that's fine. Right, I've got two goldy flowers on there, which don't look, can you see? They do look goldy actually, but maybe it's just the light. Right, now I'm going to go in with you. Will you come down here, please? You. I'm going to try you. I am going to try the tiniest flipping stamp that I have, because that makes a lot of sense. Get some water in that gold, and I'm going to stick you to my finger. Hopefully you don't drop off, because you do have a tendency to drop off. And I'm going to paint the gold onto the stamp. Oh, the stamp had black on it. Make sure you clean your stamp. Never mind. I'll try again. The maybe won't come out quite, I don't know. Well, I can see it, but it's a very blurry butterfly. It's not like picking up the detail that great, but if that's just a big smudge because I moved my finger. I'm going to keep going though, because, you know, that's what I do. Yeah, you can't even see them. Yeah, I'll abandon that project. That's a no-go. Is it? You can see them, but you can't really make out that that big splodge there is a very nicely detailed little butterfly. So I'm going to revert back to black ink. Stick to my finger. Come on, stick to my finger, because sometimes you pop off when I'm in the middle of doing something and I don't like it. So I'm going to go in with black here and there. A lot of my papers may look the same because I'm kind of using the same things, but hey, I like these things. What can I say? I absolutely adore this butterfly. I was gutted because I thought I'd lost it the other week, and I was very willing and prepared to buy a whole nother set of stamps just to get this little butterfly. I mean, to be honest, the set of stamps itself, I think they were only like £1.28 from Shein or I think they were from Temu. But that upset me then, because I'm like, oh no, to get that again from Temu, I've got to spend 15 quid, and I don't want to spend 15 quid just to get a little teeny butterfly. But I love this little butterfly because it is really, really tiny and great for little projects, but it's also quite a detailed little butterfly. Anyway, I found it, as you can see, because I'm using it. So there we go, that's another one done, and I actually really like that. Will the light make much difference? Let me have a look. I have to stand up. So now, can you see the gold? Oh yes, you can see the gold. Oh wow, you can see the gold better in the camera than you actually can in real life. So that's just changed that plain white paper to a nicer one. Now I've only done two. I'm not going to do any more because I'm on 45 minutes, but you have seen the others that I've done, and I hope that the techniques have given you some ideas to change your not so nice papers into really cool papers. That's not one of them. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that little process video. Thank you very, very much for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for always being there and for all your lovely comments as well. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Bye.